approaches are you running?
So I'm on 18 at the moment. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, I've got 15. I think I've got 15 in the front, maybe a little less in the back, and 45 litres of fuel.
Okay, permits all acquired. Let's go hit the sand, see what happens. Okay, so this is the entrance from Lavis Lane onto the south end of Stockton Beach. As you can see, the four-wheel drives cut up the track just when they're coming into the beach. There's a lot of beach fishing and that type of thing, but Stockton Beach is known for its soft sand, and although I wasn't struggling, it is a bit of hard work here. You can see I'm sitting in the four-wheel drive track to start with. It's been a while since I've been on the beach, so just getting my confidence back up. Okay, here's half my problem. I'm running the Michelin Starcross 5, but it's coming up to nearly 2,000 k's. That's the tread depth it should have, and that's the tread depth it has in the middle. I'm running 18 psi because I just want to test it out. I could have let it down, but we'll continue on. This Stockton sand, super soft. I was hoping it'd be a bit damper than it is. Let's go for Dave. He's done it.
How'd you go?
Yeah, I went good. Still getting used to the little bike, little power, but got here. It's a lot better on the unchurned up sand.
Yeah.
How'd you go?
Yeah, good. I'm still getting my sand memory back.
Yeah,
getting my sand legs.
Same.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it moves around a lot more than I remember.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
but it's all.
Well, how about we make our way through here and try to make it down to the wreck?
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Let's do it.
I'll see you there. As you can see here, once we got off the churned up sand where the four-wheel drives had been, the sand was actually a lot better. It's still soft and hard to get going, but we got up to a good speed and we could keep that momentum up. Had really no problems. The 300 rally was doing it good. Third gear was the gear to be in. Couldn't quite pull fourth gear. Maybe on the downhills I could pull fourth gear and then keep it up, but I didn't have the confidence to hit things that fast. I was probably traveling around 60 kilometers an hour. This is the speed that I was comfortable with, and probably the speed that the bike was comfortable with as well. Here we are, just coming up to the beachfront.
Want to have a go with this?
No, thank you. Oh, there's the wreck. This is what the wreck of the Sygna used to look like last time I was at Stockton Beach, which is probably about 10 years ago. The day we were there, it's probably down to the waterline. It was only just poking out. You could see it between the waves. The Norwegian container ship washed ashore in 1974 during some heavy storms, and the rear of the ship has sat on Stockton Beach ever since, slowly being reclaimed by the sea. And then there was one. I was starting to get the hang of starting off and getting moving on Stockton Beach. The technique that worked for me was big revs, second gear, dump the clutch, get moving, and then click it into third. As you can see here, we're down near the waterline. The sand's, I wouldn't say firmer, but it's a lot nicer to ride on. Bit easier down here, Dave?
Yeah.
We'd been on Stockton Beach for a fair while now, and we're starting to get the hang of it. The actual recreation vehicle area is down the south end. Back in the old days, you used to be able to ride the entire length of the beach in the dunes, and the much bigger dunes to the north were always fun to ride. Now we're restricted just to this area down in the south. This is about the extent of the dunes down that end. Not real big, but still, when you're coming up to them, there's a couple, don't really show it in the video, but the drop down does make you just stay on your toes to make sure you don't end up over the handlebars. So we spent a fair while just cutting some laps up and down here. Not a huge area, but you know, we had fun. What I wanted to show here was the CRF 300 Rally just holding its own. I'm comfortable now with my speeds on there. Again, it's only third gear. Speeds are around that 60 km/h, but it's got enough torque. It gets up the hills, the tiny little dunes we got here. No problem at all. Actually back off at the top, just to keep it at comfortable speed. But yeah, the little 300 Rally's doing it easy. As it was over 30 degrees and we're starting to get pretty warm, we decided that we probably had enough of the dunes and we'll find somewhere else to ride. We were heading north to Anna Bay for lunch and I spied some tracks following the power lines just next to the road. I thought, why ride on the tar when you can ride on the dirt? And it actually paid off. We found some good tracks. There were these sandy, almost single tracks through the bush, and we were having fun. It was a lot easier to ride these than the soft sand of Stockton Beach. Some of them were dead ends, but some of them went on and on. There's quite a labyrinth of trails in there. We even stumbled onto some single track, and I thought it'd be fun to follow COVID Dave through the single track on his 990. I didn't really take into account that it's 30 something degrees and we're already hot and tired. So we pushed on for a little bit, but soon we figured out it's probably not a smart move to take the adventure bike through here. Even though the 300 was doing it with ease, and to COVID Dave's credit, he was getting the big 990 through there as well. This brings us to the end of our video, riding the CRF 300 Rally on the sands of Stockton Beach. Dave and his 990 did well. Just like to thank Dave for joining me. We had a ball. If you liked the video, please subscribe and we'll bring you more.